Hi, welcome to your next edition of Highlights, our CandleChart.com family insider newsletter for, as shown here, key trading and active investing strategies. And what we're going to look at now is, one of the topics we have discussed before is this aspect of combining candles with Western indicators. And what's great about the candlesticks is, of course, you could use candle signals confirming a Western signal, or the other way around, a Western signal confirming a candle signal. But even if you don't have a candle signal, you could use the insights of Western indicators in your trading. So you give up absolutely nothing by using candlesticks, because you could use candles and Western, or just candles, or just Western. So one of the topics we're going to look at now is one of my favorite Western indicators we call change of polarity. And what that happens is old support, and it should be tested more than one time. Old support, once broken, if the market is indeed weak, should become new resistance. And the flip side is old resistance, as shown on the right side of the slide, once penetrated, should become new support. And I use this all the time. We use this all the time in our trading. In fact, here's one of the trades that I put on recently. Let me go through this with you, and then I'll give you a market update, which is the main reason for this highlights at this time. So what happened, this is a week or two ago. Anyway, we had this long upper shadow candlestick, a shooting star. And notice what happened also is that I had a support area, old support, once broken, becomes new resistance. So although the shooting star got above it, it didn't close above it. And then over the next day during the session, the market stalled at the high of the shooting star, so I went short here. And for those familiar with the candles, you can place a stop using candles. So ideally, you should wait for a stop on a close above the candle line. So actually, because I was able to monitor the trade, I was actually in the office and not traveling, I had placed a stop. As soon as I put the trade on over here, placed a stop and was watching the market to see as it got to the close if it would get above 66. So it obviously didn't get above it here, and it got above it here, but look what, it didn't close above it, so I still stayed short. But anyway, and I actually added to the short position on this session, because even over here, another shooting star type day, my target was down here. All right, this actually should be a little bit lower here. So very good risk reward, very low risk trade for good profit potential. And this is the day where we had the big sell-off, so I took some profits here and I actually let some profits ride. And I used intraday to get out of some more. But the point is, with this is, yes, we had a shooting star, a candle signal, and I was also looking at change of polarity, old support becoming resistance, and the market failed in this session to close above it. And even though it closed above old resistance, old support became resistance here, the high of the shooting star still became a resistance area. So it was a good position to remain on the short side. Anyway, let's look at what this means in the market now, this change of polarity. So here we have a couple of, more than a couple of candle signals, and these are some of the ones I highlighted. Many of you have our candle scanning software called Nison Candle Scanner. It lets you pick up my favorite candle patterns. It'll highlight them on the charts. So I didn't pick all of them here, but I wanted to show you the bear sash patterns, a little bit more advanced over here. Bear sash. For example, there was an evening star here, but that's not one of the patterns I wanted highlighted. So the market broke here, had that tremendous sell-off, and although it held the support here, right around the 1060 area, my major support is the low here made with the hammer. And this is the beauty of the candles. Imagine if you had picked this up, if you had seen this hammer as a low down here. Anyway, the low made this year was made with a hammer. So my view is that this is first support down here. Then under that would be the hammer. And the interesting thing and the main focus of this chart in this highlights is change of polarity. Why do you think I drew that blue line over here? This support zone actually should be the low here. Lows here and here. Old support, once broken, becomes new resistance. So on any rallies, even if the market closes above the high here, around the 1170, 1172 area, this up to here is a very important resistance area. If the bulls can close this market above 1180, then my target would be the highs up here around 1220. But this is going to be a real obstacle, this change of polarity. So that's my view here on any rallies from the highs here about 1170, 1180 I would expect to see some selling pressure coming in. Right now, the longer-term trend is still neutral. I mean, we've had a tremendous rally, okay, since last March. This is a daily chart. I mean, from last March, we were in lower levels. So it's not surprising to have a correction, okay? So the longer-term trend is still neutral to actually higher. Just shorter-term, because of this change of polarity, my outlook is a little bit more negative, especially on rallies. Not much you can do here because you have resistance here and support here and over here. And for those who trade Forex, okay, this is a weekly chart, so the end of the week has not occurred yet. Look at this. We had a support area in place, okay, for a long, long time, and as of now, again, we haven't closed under it on a weekly basis, but if the market closes under these lows here, all right, this blue zone over here, I would then look at change of polarity. And when I say close, I mean weekly close. I then look at the change of polarity, old support, okay, becoming resistance. And look at this bearish engulfing pattern, bearish engulfing pattern, okay, bearish engulfing pattern. So keep an eye on this for those who trade Forex on the Euro US. And I had made mention to the reference to the candle scanner, and this is a Forex chart, and many of you probably got our email alert, but just to give you a heads up, we're going to be doing 2 webinars this week, okay, one on Wednesday, okay, May 19th, candles for currencies, and another one on Thursday night, okay, where I'll be discussing using the candle scanner to get alerts on my favorite candle signals. So even if you can't make these sessions, okay, make sure you register because we will attempt to make a recording out of it. The recordings don't always work, so that's why we always suggest attending the live sessions if you can. But if you can't make the sessions because this is so last minute for you, make sure to register and we'll try to get you a recording. Thanks, and look forward to joining you on our next highlights.